Dude, what the heck? It's a koi. Do you guys see that orange and white koi down there? Oh my goodness. Got him, boys. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today, we're gonna be busting out this Googan Squad Mondo kit, doing a little review for you guys, showing you guys what is inside this box, and then we're gonna take these lures and we're gonna do a little fishing challenge. Try to catch our 5 biggest bass using the lures in this box, and I'm gonna explain more of that in just a second here. But first things first, let's crack her open and see what is inside here. So first things first, we got a Googan Squad neck buff. This thing is gonna come in handy, protects you from the sun. I lose these things all the time, and I never can get enough of them, so always great to get one of those. Pretty sweet that they toss one of those in the box for you. Then you got yourself a little Googan Squad sticker. Stick it on your boat, stick it on your truck, whatever the heck you want to do with it. But now we are getting into the juice. We got the baits that we're going to be using today, and I would say that the only downfall to this box is you don't get to choose your colors, but looking at it right now, they gave us the freaking sauce, boys, so it's really not going to be a problem whatsoever. We got the Juice casting jig. It's in green pumpkin. That's a staple. You already know that that's going to slay some bass. Second thing we got in here is the Googan Squad Zinger, a spinnerbait, and this one's in a bluegill color. So for my area, we pretty much have bluegills as the primary forage, so I think that this is going to catch a fish real quick. And also, it's starting to rain right now, if you guys didn't tell, so that's going to kind of put a damper on this whole thing. Sorry about all the little rain droplets on the screen. But 2 more baits in the box. We have the Googan Squad Crack and Craw, green pumpkin. It's going to pair up perfectly with that jig, but we're probably going to also throw this on a Texas rig for the little challenge that we are doing. And then last thing we have in here is a Googan Squad Flat Banger. Nice little citrus shad looking pattern right there, but the rain's starting. Don't want to keep this too long-winded. We are going to start fishing. The challenge today is to catch our 5 biggest bass using the baits in this box, and each bait has to account for at least one of our 5 bass. So got to catch one of the Crack and Craw, one of the jig, one of the crankbait, etc. And then our 5th one could come on any one of these. So one of the baits is going to get at least 2 of our best 5, and all these baits are going to catch a bass today. So stick around, stay tuned. It's raining, and we're gonna start with the spinnerbait because we have the perfect conditions with a little bit of wind. We got cloud cover, we got rain, all that good stuff. We're gonna put this thing to work. Stay tuned, guys. And the camera is officially soaked. That is perfect. Whenever the weatherman says the rain's gonna stop at a certain time, do not listen, because they're always wrong. They're never right. Not a single time have they ever been right in the history of ever. All right, so we're gonna start with the Googan Squad Zinger right here. Try to get a little reaction bite first thing here while we have these conditions, because even though I don't trust the weathermen, the sun is supposed to come out later, so that's gonna make that jig bite and that Texas rig bite a little bit better, I think. So we're gonna try to get the spinnerbait and the crankbait knocked out while it's all nasty outside. Then we're gonna move into those slower baits, but gonna cut this tag end off, go to work. Got our little Ego pliers here. If you guys want to check these out, it's going to be linked down below. Some of the best fishing pliers in the game, but we have the spinnerbait hooked up, ready to rock. And we're going to start rolling the spinnerbait through this submergent vegetation, the pad stems, all the stuff like that where these big pre-spawn females are starting to move up and get ready to spawn here. First cast of the day. Looking for big mamas. I don't know how big our best 5 is going to go today, but we are shooting for like 15 plus pounds. I would love to have a 3-pound average. This lake has some big ones in it. It's been a little bit finicky this year trying to get these big girls to go, but we have had a major warm front the past couple days, and I think that those big fish are going to be on the move. Oh my goodness! She freaking smoked it off the top of that tree. It's a good one, guys. Oh, it's a smallmouth. It's a big old smallie. Oh my gosh, I gotta get the net on this one. I don't want to boat flip that fish. Come here, mama. Come here in the boat. Yes, sir. That's how we're gonna start it off right there on that Googan Squad Zinger, boys. That's gonna be number 1 for our best 5. Nice, like probably 2.5 pounder, but we're gonna get her on the scale. My spinnerbait was literally hung over a branch, and this thing basically ate it on the top of the water. Hope you guys caught that all. That was freaking sick. Okay, so first one of the day for this little Mondo box challenge. Like I said, we're gonna get our best 5, and each bait we gotta get at least 1 fish. So this is number 1 on the Zinger, 2.77 pound smallmouth bass right there, 2 3/4 pounder to start that challenge off. We've been fishing for about 25 minutes, and I think it's gonna be a good day. When you catch one like that, I think it's gonna be a good day. But let's get this fish back in the water. That's how we're doing it, boys. Get her back in the water. Back up in those trees where she was sitting. See you later, girl. Okay, first fish of the day, feeling good. We're gonna move on to probably what's gonna be the most difficult bait, I think, and that is the crankbait. If you guys watch my channel, I'm not a crankbait fisherman. A lot of the lakes by me are all grass, so just not a lot of good spots to throw a crankbait, but gonna tie in that flat banger, put it to work, try to get fish number 2 in the boat. Okay, so gonna cut off this little Catch Code jerkbait there. We are busting out the Googan Squad flat banger. It's their version of a square bill, but it also has those flat sides, so it's really good when those fish are being a little bit more finicky, when the water's a little bit colder, which we kind of still do have pre-spawn conditions. Water's only 54 degrees, so that nice tight action from that flat-sided crankbait is definitely going to be key for us today. But we got a nice little shad color here. It's going to stand out in that water a lot, and I think that those smallmouth especially are going to love this thing. So hopefully, since the first one of the day was a nice size smallmouth, we're around them, and I can catch another one really quick for you guys on this. But this is definitely the bait that I am the most worried about. The jig, the Texas rig, I have a ton of confidence in those things, so not too worried about getting them on that. But crankbaits are just not my thing. Cut that tag end off, ready to rock and roll. Put this crankbait to work. Let's go, boys. Got to keep it rolling. Got to keep the momentum going after that freaking almost 3-pound smallie right there. There we go, on the crankbait. Oh, it's a pike. It's a freaking pike. Do not want to snap this thing off. It's not going to count for our best 5, but I've been fishing this crankbait for about 2 minutes, literally. We got a nice sized pike on here. Please do not take this thing. I don't think I have any more flat bangers in the boat, so that would kind of ruin the whole challenge. Oh God, the line's across your teeth. Stop, 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 stop. Come here. Come here, mama. Okay, in the boat. All right. Well, boys and girls, we've been throwing the flat banger for about 2 minutes, and we just got us a nice sized pike right here. You're definitely going to want to use the pliers for this one, because I sure as heck do not want any treble hooks in my hand. I thought that was going to be a big old smallie. Just a pike. Somehow that pike did not get any sort of tooth marks on the line too, so we are good to go. Oh, there we go. That's very small bass on the old flat banger. I didn't really do a size limit, but I think that we're gonna weigh this one for now. It's gonna count as our flat banger fish, so we could move on, but I'm gonna try to upgrade because we don't wanna weigh whatever this is about to go. Okay, 0.48 pounds. But like I said at the beginning, we're doing a challenge. We gotta catch at least 1 bass in all these, so not a big one, but it is our flat banger fish. So if we, for some reason, can't get another one on the crankbait, at least we have something locked in. We get a little bit of weight, but we don't want a ½ pound for a freaking flat banger fish. We're gonna try to catch one that's a little bit bigger than that. I'm gonna stick with this thing for a little bit here, try to upgrade it quick. If we don't catch one after like 30, 40 minutes, though, I'll probably move on and then I'll come back to it later after I catch like the jig and the Texas rig fish. But for now, 0.48 pounds is gonna have to do. There we go. Oh, come on, be a big smallmouth. Crush the flat banger. Oh, it is. It's a nice smallie. Stay pinned, stay pinned, stay pinned, boys. I knew we were gonna get one on this flat banger. Come on, stay pinned up. Yes, sir. That is what I'm talking about. Not a giant, but for this little challenge, like I said, I was very worried about catching one on the crankbait, so the fact that we got a decent little smallie here is a good sign. Got to get her unhooked, get her on the scale, then we got to go put the jig in the mouth of a big old largemouth. See what we got here. We're calling out our 0.48 pounder. Oh yeah, 2 1/4, 2.27 pounder on that flat banger right there. That crankbait bite is a freaking blast, boys. Oh my goodness. Throwing it on a 6'9" medium action rod too. Oh yeah. Okay, 2 3/4 and a 2 1/4 pound smallmouth to start the day off with that bonus pike too. But getting her back in the water, now we're gonna go after some big old largemouth bass. That is the goal, guys. So I was initially planning to do the juicy jig as its own bait and then the Kraken craws on a Texas rig, but I think I'm just gonna pair these two up. So we're gonna put this jig on and we're gonna go into another channel here and try to flip up a big old largemouth here. We've got some nice smallies in the boat, but I wanna catch a big old green one. Let's get us a Kraken craw here, but the fact that it was legitimately not supposed to rain at all, and it's pretty much been raining the entire time that I've been out here, is very frustrating. Let me tell you guys. Okay, juicy jig, Kraken craw rigged up, ready to go. And we're gonna catch us a big old green one. Okay, so as you guys can probably tell by the drastically different weather, we have not caught fish in a while. The last fish that I caught, it was raining outside, it was cloudy, and we have bright bluebird skies. And so far, the jig has not been too kind to us. The lure I thought was gonna be the easiest. I've caught 0 bass on. I had one little nibble and missed it somehow, but We're fishing the main lake. I switched it up. I decided that the main lake is gonna be where the big largemouth were. We've been trying a lot of different stuff out here, and so far the jig just has not panned out, but we're gonna try like 1 or 2 more spots out here in the main lake. If it doesn't work, we're gonna head back to where we caught those smallmouth earlier on, flip the jig around, and try to catch a fish on all these baits. We're still trying to get our best 5. We only have 2 fish so far, but stick with it, stay tuned. We're gonna catch some fish on this jig. Well, boys and girls, first bite on the jig, and there you go. Don't know if it was a pike, don't know if I had a nick in my line, but that was, I didn't even get to feel the fish at all. Didn't feel the weight, so I'm assuming it was a pike. Snapped off. Okay, let's see if we got another juicy jig in here. Okay, so we do not have another juicy jig, but we do have a Googan Squad gridiron jig. This is their football jig, so closest thing we have to work with. Wasn't planning on snapping off today, but still gonna try to do this challenge, guys. That really freaking sucks. I'm guessing that that was a big old pike. There we go, on the jig. On the jig, right off the tip of that point right there. It's another smallmouth bass. We haven't caught, I guess we caught a 0.48 pound largemouth, but we have not caught a single decent largie. Even that smallie's probably a little bit bigger than that, but we have caught a fish in every single bait, and I guess we do have to weigh this one technically, even though this is very small. We have got ourselves a freaking Mondosaurus 0.68 pounder. Almost 3/4 of a pound. An absolute brute of a smallmouth bass right there. Okay, well, at least we caught a fish in every single bait. So far, we got 2 nice smallies, 1 tiny little smallmouth, 1 baby largemouth, and then a halfway decent pike. But we snapped off something large on the jig, and just really haven't been getting very many bites. I was actually swimming the jig on that one too. It wasn't really a traditional jig bite right there, so had to make some adjustments. They weren't eating the jig in the bottom. Started kind of slow rolling this thing around, and pretty much have only been doing that for about 5 minutes and just caught that fish right there. Dude, what the heck? It's a koi. Do you guys see that orange and white koi down there? Why in the world? Hold on, let me try to put the glasses on so you guys can see through the polarize. Dude, do you guys see that thing? Oh my goodness. You guys probably can't see that. That's crazy. Straight up koi. It's super weird. Never seen one in here. Big old orange koi. Oh my goodness. Boys and girls, I was covering up my camera because I was trying to save that little clip about the orange koi, and this bass was swimming by. I just flipped the jig right in front of her and she smoked it. Oh my goodness. Finally got a halfway decent largemouth. I don't know what I just captured, because what I do is anytime I want to use a clip in a video or whatever, I put my hand over the top of the lens for like 5-10 seconds, so when I'm scrubbing through, I could find it a lot easier. And so I was doing that right after I just saw that koi swim by. And I saw this bass, I literally just dropped a jig on it and I watched her mouth open up and she smoked it. That's a good like 2.5 pounder. What a freaking stroke of luck right there. That's so goofy. After like not catching a hardly squat all day for largemouth, just have this one swim by and actually eat the jig. Oh my goodness, almost a 3 pounder. 2.88 pounds on that Googan Squad jig with the cracking craw. This is about 5 minutes after that smallie too. Nice, solid largemouth bass. What a turn of events right there. Oh my gosh. That was so weird. Okay, so we actually have a halfway decent little bag going now. We have 1 nice largemouth and 2 nice smallies. So we need to get 2 more good bites, and our best 5 is gonna be pushing like 13, 14 pounds. But literally sight fished that fish. Don't know what you guys saw. Hope it was kind of cool. It was really cool for my end, I'll tell you what. I was literally just up here in like a foot of water looking at that koi, and I saw a largemouth swimming by, and I dropped the jig in front of her, and her mouth just went, she sucked it up immediately. Could not believe it. There's a bass. Oh, here we go. We're gonna get him on the exo stick. Come on, put that in your mouth. Got him, got him, got him, boys. Well, we kind of cheated for the challenge just a little bit. We were doing the Mondo box slam, and we completed it. Really, we caught a bass in every single one of the baits, a decent one. And there's so many cruisers up shallow, I had to pull out a wacky worm. It just had to happen. Let me land this fish right here. It's not a bad one. It's another like 2 pounder. She just went up there and choked down on that Senko. Little Biospawn Exo stick. Put this one on the scale, add to our best 5. Try to catch a few more fish, because if they're all up here sunning themselves, this is irresistible for bass that are doing that. But nice 2 pounder, 2.57 pounder, 2.5. Sight fish that one. That was so cool. Watched her eat it, just cruising by. Get her back in the water there. Try to catch a few more of your buddies. There's one on a bed right here, guys. And we're gonna catch it. It's very interested. Do I have any white baits in here? That's the question. I also didn't think we were gonna be bed fishing today, guys. It is turning into a very interesting day in the water. All right, we're gonna take this Kraken craw off. We're gonna put this swim bait on the back here as a trailer just so I could see this bait a little bit better on that bed. There we go. Now we're talking, boys. We're gonna catch this bed bass. It's like a 3-pounder. It's a nice one. Oh, she mouthed it. She smoked it. First flip in there, she smoked it. She did not get it though. She dropped it so quick. And she got the swim bait. Got him, boys. Got him, boys. I switched up to the Kraken craw, and second flip, we just got him. It's a little bit bigger than I thought, too. I don't even want to tell you guys how long I freaking worked for this fish, because it was way too long. Hold up, mama. Hold up. There we go. Nice 3.5 pounder right there. We're going to throw her in the scale super duper quick, get the weight on her, get her back on her bed. That took so long, guys. You have no freaking idea. Almost a 4-pounder. 3.81 pounds right there for our 5th good fish of the day. Almost a 4-pound bass on that Kraken craw. Gonna get her back in the water, guys. Nice fish. Let her get back on her bed, do her thing. See you later, big girl. I will leave you alone now, I swear. Oh my gosh. So we started out the day by doing this little Mondo kit slam. We caught a fish in every single one of these baits, including we got a decent one on every single one of these baits. We ended the day with 14.25 pounds, a pretty solid bag on the day, but honestly, the morning started out so weird. We caught those 2 halfway decent smallmouth, but we really couldn't figure those largemouth out at all. And then that sun popped up, and right at the end there, I started seeing cruisers everywhere, and fish literally right before my eyes started pulling up on beds and locking on. So we had to switch it up. We started out by doing that little Mondo kit slam, and I had to throw that wacky worm for a little bit, and then I put on just regular T-rig, but I ended up actually catching that fish on the Kraken craw. So I only caught one of those bass not on a bait in the Mondo kit, and that was on that Biospawn Exo Stick. But Mondo kit got it done today. Caught the biggest fish of the day right at the end there on the Kraken craw. I tried to catch that fish on a swim bait for a solid like 45 minutes, an hour. It swiped at it like 15 freaking times. Literally first cast, flipped this in there. She ate it immediately, and you guys are gonna see it. You guys already saw it, but I'm just gonna explain it for whatever reason. But hooked it, popped off, next flip in there, she caught it again. So very interesting day in the water, but that's about it for the Mondo kit. Caught quite a few good bass today, and had a fun day on the water. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.